1,
2,
3,
4.
Monster movie.
Fun time, go! Monster movie.
Fun time, go. Monster
Movie.
fun time.
Go!
Monster movie. Fun time, go.
With Precious D and Honey Bee.
Fun time, go!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and neighbors, welcome to Monster Movie Fun Time Go. I am one of your hosts, Precious D.
And I am the other one of your hosts, Honey Bee.
Honey Bee and I are two best friends making our way through the history of kaiju movies. We started in 1933 with King Kong, and now we're up to 2015. The movie is Mega Shaek versus Kolossus. That's Kolossus with a K because he's Russian, I think. Before we get into this piece of shit.
Everybody's Russian.
Yeah. We want to remind everybody that Kaiju Go is coming up in August at the historic Texas Theater in Dallas, Texas. What is the date? August 16th?
16th, I think.
Damn it, now I gotta look it up.
I am looking right now. Yeah, it's the 16th.
Okay. So they're going to be showing 3 movies, and there's going to be vendors. There's going to be vendors selling artwork and T-shirts and toys and, various kaiju-related things. And there'll be a food truck. And we'll be there. Also, Honeybee...
Yay!
Honeybee, that new Godzilla Marvel comic came out. The first one.
Yeah! Hell yeah. How is it?
It's Godzilla versus the Fantastic Four. It's just a one-shot. I enjoyed it. I just pre-ordered the digital copy, so it just showed up on my Kindle. I didn't even realize. It'd probably been out for a day or two before I realized it was out. So, but folks, check your local comic shop. If they don't have it, you can get a digital copy from Comixology on Amazon. I don't want to say too much because it just came out, so I don't want to do spoilers, but it was good and it was fun. It is, I will say, there's like 3 or 4 of these things coming out, and they're different eras. So this one is like original 1954-ish Godzilla or Return of Godzilla.
Sick. Yeah, I appreciated the color of Godzilla in this one.
Oh, did you see it?
That he was kind of gray and not like bright ass green.
Yeah. Did you read it or did you just saw the picture?
I just saw no. I just saw pictures. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they do make reference to the events of the first movie and Dr. Serizawa. So this is meant to be a god similar to Godzilla Raids Again, the second Godzilla movie ever. It's similar to that in that there was a Godzilla, it got killed by an oxygen destroyer, but now here's another one. But then there's, Marvel stuff intertwined with that. So check it out, folks, and let us know what you think. All right, I think we can't put it off any longer. Let's get to this last of the Mega Shaek movies. Fingers crossed, folks, that there are no more Mega Sharks. A Mega Shaek will appear in 2025 Armageddon, but it's, of course, from the goddamn asylum. 2015, it's 90 minutes. There's no data on box office or costs because it's direct-to-video. Directed by Christopher Douglas Olin Ray. I guess it's Christopher Douglas and Olin Ray. The cast is Ileana Douglas. I don't think they're related. As Dr. Allison Gray. Amy Ryder.
I recognize her.
Yeah, she's been in stuff. In all of these, there's always somebody that you kind of know. Amy Ryder as Moira King. Brody Hutzler as Joshua Dane. Edward DeRuyter as Spence. Ernest Thomas as Admiral Titus Jackson. We'll come back to him. Tara Price as Lieutenant Commander Elijah Parker. Jeff Hatch as Dr. John Bullock. Brian Hanna as Benedict. Patrick Baucow as Sergei Abramov, Riley Vanderbilt as Riley, and Tim Abel as Ivan. Is Riley playing herself? Yes. Oh, okay. No,
she's like, yeah, I'm this badass in life.
No, she's okay. So they didn't list all of them. That's okay. These three girls at the beginning.
With the boobs and the leather.
Yes. So weird. I
was like, that is a lot of boobs and a lot of leather to be in a submarine, but I am here for it.
So there's 4. The movie starts off with 4 sexy girls in sexy outfits in 2 different submarines, which of course are the same set piece with different lighting. And it's Unicorn 1 and Unicorn 2. And they don't make it past the first scene. And while the movie is going on, I looked at it. I'm like, what is going on here? Why you put them in these leather, unzipped, low cut outfits? You're trying to show me how sexy these girls are, but then they don't do anything, and they all get killed. And I'm looking at the credits, and I'm like, well, they're all just listed as their own first name, although we don't say any of the names in the actual film. These girls are all part of a thing called Team Unicorn. So this is sort of a joke. It's like a cameo and a joke. That's the reason their ships are called Unicorn 1 and Unicorn 2, because they're from Team Unicorn, which is a multimedia production team. The current members are Claire Grant, Riley Vanderbilt, Mylan Charlie, and Allison Hayslip, who replaced Michelle Boyd in 2014. So I think those are the 4 that are in the movie. Allison Hayslip I've seen in some things. They do like little song parodies and stuff, or they used to. I went on their YouTube page and I hadn't seen anything recent. They did a Star Wars parody of All About That Bass, but the bass was the Death Star. Or maybe it's the Rebel base that the Death Star is blowing up. I don't know. I'm all about that base, no rebels. So, but the weird thing is, so they're all very attractive and fit young ladies, but who are also comedians and singers. But we don't get to see them do any of that stuff in this movie. They just get killed in the opening scene. And this just
one of them
like
sacrifices herself, kind of like blows herself up. I was like, all right.
Yeah, it just seemed really weird to me. Like, okay, this was obviously done on purpose. You've named the ships after their group. Are they, at the time this was made, were they big enough that I was supposed to recognize them all without looking them up? I don't get it. You didn't let them sing a song. They just sat in those. They had the sexy outfits, but they were just sat in chairs the whole time. I don't. I mean, it's just typical asylum nonsense that doesn't really quite work. They weren't allowed to be funny, and they were all just kind of bad. And I don't think they're bad in general, but they were just bad because they were given nothing to work with. Ugh. All right, so let's get into the rest of the plot. Anyway, that's what was going on with them. Sometime after the events of the previous film, this is from Wikipedia, thank you Wikipedia, the world's governments institute preparation plans in case another mega shark appears. Another shark is awakened by Russian miners drilling underwater for red mercury, which is not a thing.
Yeah, a guy in the movie creates it.
Well, no, I mean, there's a link on Wikipedia here. It's not just something that they made up for the movie, but the description of it is red mercury is a discredited substance, most likely a hoax perpetrated by con artists who sought to take advantage of gullible buyers on the black market for arms. People would claim that this was used in the creation of nuclear weapons, but because the process for creating nuclear weapons is pretty secret, they could trick people into thinking that this was part of the process, but it's not. It's not a real any samples of so-called red mercury that have ever been analyzed are shown to be just normal stuff that you wouldn't use in making nuclear weapons. But in this movie, they've decided to make it the thing, that the movie's about. I have no idea if the writer knew it was bullshit and chose it on purpose because it was bullshit, or they thought they were talking about a real thing. Who fucking knows? Meanwhile, a team of prospectors led by a man named Benedict, searching for red mercury at the behest of an unknown sponsor, enter a mine in Russia where they discover a secret stock of the substance. One of Benedict's team is unmasked as American agent Moira King. But while a standoff between King and the Russians occurs, a giant robot hidden beneath the mine reawakens. King barely escapes while the robot Kolossus destroys the mine.
The scene though where like she's kicking that dude's ass and like the slow motion and the lights and the smoke and the sound effects, hilarious, but also kind of cool.
Yeah. But also there's subtitles during parts of this scene for people who are speaking English. But apparently the producers believed that their accents were so thick that subtitles were going to be required anyway. But Moira loses her. Loses her subtitles later in the film.
Nice. I love how the Russian guys, the way they say Benedict, he's like Benedict, Benedict, Benedict.
Yeah. Dr. Allison Gray proposes to. Oh, wait, but Kolossus. So Kolossus he's a robot, but he looks like he's partly organic.
Yeah, like he has muscle structure and like really weird dull ass teeth.
Yes.
Like his teeth drove me fucking crazy.
Have you ever seen Attack on Titan?
No.
It is a popular anime based on a manga, and I looked it up, and it did already exist at the time this movie was made. Because to me, Kolossus looks like he's ripped off from his general look is very similar to the giants in Attack on Titan.
Oh.
So, and it's the asylum. It's the asylum. So I'm just assuming that that's exactly what was going on. They were like, make it look like Attack on Titan. That's popular. People might see the box and think that's what it is. Fuck you, asylum.
Sounds right.
Dr. Allison Gray proposes to the military the use of her newly developed sonic transmitters, which she believes can influence the shark's behavior, but is rejected in favor of a more aggressive plan laid out by her colleague John Bullock. She is then summoned by tech mogul and environmentalist Joshua Dane, CEO of Dane Tech Industries, who is aware of the government's plans thanks to his infiltrating their communications out of distrust for their intentions, which is bullshit. So this guy is a sort of Elon Musk, Tony Stark kind of guy who turns out to be more Elon Musk than Tony Stark.
Yeah, for sure. I also love when they introduce him and he like has this glove on. He's like listening to classical music and then he's just like tapping on a tablet that is completely turned off.
Yeah.
We get this like camera angle like above him and he's like tapping on this tablet as if he's like actually doing anything, but it's just black screen.
Several times in the movie, Dr. Gray is like, you did what? How dare you? He's like, well, I had to because I couldn't be, I only trust me or whatever, or the government or whatever. I'm like, yeah, sometimes the government does things that are untrustworthy, but so do billionaires who own corporations. You are not inherently more trustworthy than the government, and I can't vote you out of office. I can, however, boycott your fucking ugly trucks. Ugh, Jesus Christ. Okay, Dane suggests that they work together to stop the shark in a more humane fashion and protect the environment. Elsewhere, King recruits desk worker Spencer to assist her in stopping Kolossus. Because these are two different fucking movies. Two completely different movies going on.
I was just about to say that. I'm like, my note is like, how do these two connect? Like I don't understand how these two stories connect.
They don't until they do, and then they try to connect them in every way possible, and it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Garbage.
Doesn't. What was I going to say? Oh, I think it's here. At some point, Dane suggests that the Earth is purposely spitting up megalodons to protect itself from our human shenanigans. Mm-hmm. And Gray seems to go along with that nonsense idea.
Yeah, well, Gray's like, oh, it's asexual reproduction. It's a clone of the parent. Like, you must have killed the mother right after it laid its eggs. And I'm like, sharks don't lay eggs. But then I looked it up, and some sharks actually do lay eggs. But not, it's like a very few sharks lay eggs. But not, most of them just have birth, like, or, you know. And she's like, the shark is acting in self-defense. Like, I'm just like, okay, I know that I get we need a lady scientist who wants to, like, research the kaiju. We love to see that. But, bitch, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Oh, man. Kolossus is discovered to be a mobile weapon of mass destruction created by the Russians during the Cold War, powered by red mercury and capable of multiple detonations. Firing multiple weapons, or it just blows itself up multiple times? I don't know what they mean by multiple detonations. The fleet led by Admiral
I like
Jackson.
the conversation that the two have too, where he's like, everywhere it's gonna be its target. We can't stop it. And she's like, where's the off switch? And he's like, there's not an off switch. And she like swooshes her hair over her shoulder. She's like, there's always an off switch. And I'm like, okay. Oh, and then she says the best line in the whole movie, which she says, you can die trying to help me find it, or you can die hiding under your desk searching for your balls. I want to talk about the Admiral for a moment. Ernest Thomas. I think I actually recognized him. I didn't, and then looked it up to confirm. Have you ever seen, this is before your time, this is like a 1970s show, maybe early 80s. Have you ever seen a show called What's Happening? Mm-mm. Okay, well, Admiral Jackson used to be on a sitcom called What's Happening. He played Raj, short for Roger, on What's Happening. And then years later in What's Happening Now, people of a certain age are humming the theme song in their heads right now. But he has, these movies also often have somebody who used to be kind of big and is not so big anymore. And I think he is that, and this is
that
him.
Person in this one.
The only thing I could hum in my head was Admiral Jackson, ooh, I am for real.
Okay. What is that?
Do you know what I'm talking about? That Outcast song?
Don't.
I'm sorry,
No.
Miss Jackson. Ooh.
Okay.
Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologized a trillion times. No? Okay.
I only know one Outcast song, and I don't have to tell you which one. Everybody knows what Outcast song. I know it's the one everybody knows.
I was never really a runner. The way I see running is a gift, especially when you have stage 4 cancer. I'm Anne. I'm running the Boston Marathon, presented by Bank of America. I run for Dana-Farber Cancer Institute to give people like me a chance to thrive in life, even with cancer.
Join Bank of America in helping Anne's cause. Give if you can at BofA.com/supportAnne. What would you like the power to do? References to charitable organizations is not an endorsement by Bank of America Corporation. Copyright 2025.
It's time for basketball, and Uber Eats is dropping deals on game day favorites to keep you locked in on the action. Like when you're craving a buzzer beater, but also buffalo wings. Or when an upset makes you want to ugly cry into a pizza. And right now, Uber Eats has game day deals from McDonald's, Popeyes, Pizza Hut, Wendy's, and hundreds more local favorites. So you can keep your eyes on the ball and your hands on a hamburger. Order now, only on Uber Eats. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
The fleet, led by Admiral Jackson, carries out an attack on the shark, but fails, and Dr. Bullock is thrown overboard. Dane and Allison approach on Dane's hydrofoil and offer to assist using Allison's transmitter. But the pod malfunctions and the shark escapes. King and Spencer come across the battle and join forces with Dane and Allison to find Colossus's creator, Sergei Abramov. When they locate Abramov, he gives them a compass and clues to where the technology to control Kolossus can be found.
Oh,
Kolossus,
man. I love this guy. I'm sad he didn't make it very far.
Yeah, and he's a person you've seen.
Also, when they're looking for him and the guy's like, okay, let's see, if the well was right here and that was over there, then that must have been the barn. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck ever, that was so stupid. But then they walk in and he's like, it looks like no one's been here for years. And I'm like, there's a sandwich on the counter. It's not rotten, it's not eaten, it's a perfectly full, good sandwich. What do you mean no one's been here for years?
Let's see. He gives them clues to find where Kolossus arrives and detonates, killing Abramov while the others escape. So, yeah, I guess multiple detonations he can do. He just gets better.
Well, he didn't kill him, though. He didn't kill him. A guy with a fucking gun killed him. A guy with a gun, like, opens the door and starts shooting.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's how I remembered it. Following Abramov's clues, the group locates the laboratory where he created Kolossus, which is now underwater. However, the shark is nearby. As its rampage continues, Admiral Jackson suffers a breakdown and initiates a nuclear launch before committing suicide because he wants to make sure no one can undo the launch or force him to undo it. Lieutenant Commander Parker manages to override the order, aborting the strike, and King uses an American flag to draw the shark into the inlet where the laboratory is, trapping it.
America, dick, yeah.
While King, Spencer, Allison, and Dane search the laboratory for Colossus's control device, however, the robot appears and begins fighting with the shark. They find the device.
Which is pretty cool.
Was it?
I mean, no, but considering how shitty the movie is, I was like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
I did enjoy the little Meggy Colossus fight a little bit.
I mean, it is the title. We eventually get around to the title of them versing each other.
Yeah, and when the guy's like, you may find this difficult to comprehend, Allison, but I'm saving the world. I'm like, Allison isn't the only one finding this movie difficult to comprehend, because, like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah, because, like, oh, I'm doing this shark thing. I'm doing this Colossus thing. Oh, hey, are you doing a thing? Yeah. Are you doing a thing? Yeah. Should we do our things together? Maybe. Should we do anything on purpose? No, let's just let shit happen and react to it. That'll work out, right? Because it's not like nobody specifically says, hey, we can use this Colossus to deal with that Mega Shark problem. They just sort of kind of...
No, they just sort of run into each other and start fighting. It's like, you're big? Crazy, I'm big.
Yeah, it's just a chocolate in my peanut butter kind of situation. They find the device and escape the lab just before the battle crushes it. Colossus approaches Dane's ship, but they manage to connect the controller to Dane's computer system in time to stop it.
Oh my gosh. Colossus. When they're in this part where they go to like the quote unquote undisclosed location where they decide that they're in, like, we're in DEFCON 3. Why is there a random picture of President Clinton on the wall?
Yeah, he would not have been president when this was made, so I don't know.
No,
why.
It was 2015. I was like, what the okay, super random. No other thing on the wall. Just a picture of Clinton just smiling behind, like, in front of American flag, like, hey, you boys.
You know, if it's a military facility, it would be appropriate to have whoever the current president is on the wall. Or several presidents on the wall. Not just one who's no longer president. Anyway, with Colossus under control, Dane betrays the others, revealing that he was Benedict's sponsor and sabotaged Allison's transmitter to prevent the government from killing the shark before he could find Red Mercury. So this is where they try and tie everything together in a way which is both unnecessary and nonsensical. Because he was doing shark stuff and doing Colossus stuff, but they seem to be two separate movies for most of the film where just two different teams are doing two unrelated things. Mm-hmm. And they've just bumped into each other, but it turns out they bumped into each other on purpose because I was behind it all. As he collects the red mercury from Colossus, the shark attacks again, but he uses Colossus to attach a transmitter to it, bringing the shark under his control as well. Dane broadcasts a message worldwide announcing that he has control of both Mega Shaek and Colossus and plans to use Colossus to destroy the cities that produce the most pollution. Oh, so he's still sort of he's just a maniacal environmentalist, an eco-terrorist? Mm-hmm. Killing millions in the name of saving the
worldwide
environment.
Worldwide literally means two extras looking up in the street. It's just like, hilarious.
Yeah. So he's doing some what the hell's his name from the Marvel movies?
Who?
The big bad guy with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Damn
it! How can I possibly? You know, I mean, the big purple guy with the.
Yeah,
with the...
Thanos.
He's doing some Thanos bullshit. Where he's just like, oh, it might mean killing millions of people, but it's going to save the environment, so it's okay. I mean, the thing is, if we don't do something about it, millions of people are going to die in a different way. Let's see. Several governments scramble fighter jets against him, but Dane uses Mega Shaek and Colossus to eliminate them. I think there's another case of nobody understanding how big the Earth is. The fighters all probably get there much faster than they should be able to. Mm-hmm. He then declares to the world that he expects a nuclear strike will come, warning that if he is killed, it will trigger the release of red mercury into the atmosphere, rendering Earth inhospitable for centuries. So, way to save the environment there, asshole.
Mm-hmm. I do like when Colossus congs some jets out of the sky, but then claps them together. It was like really cool, yeah. like a toddler, just like, no.
The U.S. activates the Strategic Defense Initiative satellite, prompting Dane to have Colossus throw the shark into space, knocking the satellite's laser off target.
Spinning Meg trick.
Oh, my God. Yeah, so he knocks the satellite's laser off target, so it hits the moon instead. That's pretty accurate.
Just lasers that thing right in half.
Dane does not notice that when the shark lands back in the ocean. Why wouldn't it just go into orbit? Jesus. The transmitter falls off. The shark attacks Colossus, causing Dane's control system to crash. Colossus targets the ship while Allison, King, and Spencer, who escaped their bonds earlier, flee.
Oh my God, when they're jumping out of that ship, like fleeing, it's so fucking funny because it's like a mix of like they're jumping out, but then they turn into like little CGI people jumping out, and it is hysterical. It looks so ridiculous.
Dane runs onto the beach and it's crushed under Colossus's foot.
Yeah, take that, you little bitch.
Allison, King, and Spencer watch from the shore as Mega Shaek and Colossus engage in a vicious final battle. Colossus finally drags the shark down because apparently Colossus has some self-awareness that he wants to keep fighting even though no one's controlling him. He drags the shark down, wraps around it, and detonates its entire remaining supply of red mercury, destroying both creatures and poisoning the ocean for decades? I don't know. With the crisis over, the three survivors await rescue. Deep underwater, another egg hatches, giving birth to a new Mega Shaek. In a post-credit scene, Dr. Bullock is killed by the new shark. Did I see that? I saw the egg hatch.
I saw the egg hatch too. I didn't see the post scene, and I did let the movie play until the next movie, so I'm not sure how I missed that. Like it like played until it like started a new movie on Tubi that I also didn't want to watch.
Yeah. I mean, if it was after all the credits, then maybe. I don't know. I can't remember now if I saw that happen or not. Maybe I did.
I didn't.
Yeah, it seems kind of vaguely familiar. I don't know. I definitely saw the egg hatch part.
Yeah, I definitely saw the egg hatch part too.
There you go. Mega Shaek versus Colossus with a K.
I will say the underwater fights are pretty cool. Like, they're the best in the whole fighting sequence. But I just feel like it's so rude to give Colossus like dull ass chomps like that. Like, why did they give him human ass teeth? Like, they're just like, what what? Like, why couldn't you give him like, you know, like sharp teeth or scary teeth, or like, why does he have just dull ass chompies? It's really
because they were
weird,
trying
and
to
it really grossed me out.
It's because they were ripping off Attack on Titan, and they wanted it to look like that. I'm sure that's the reason. Honeybee, what are you gonna rate Mega Shark versus Colossus?
I don't think it's the worst Mega Shark thing that we've seen. I think some of them are worse than this one, but I just didn't get it. It was hard to follow, and I'm like, it was definitely two different movies, just like, I don't know, married into one movie at the end, and I didn't like it for sure. I did like Dr. Gray, Allison Gray. She was pretty all right, considering I just like knew her from another movie that I had seen. But yeah, I'm gonna say it's probably a 1.
Yeah, I think everything I've seen her in was something that was good. Yeah, I think I think this is the worst one so far.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just feel like the two creatures were so disconnected. The whole plot was just so... I mean, they're all bad and stupid, but this one just seemed more poorly written and more nonsensical than the others. Just how the two halves of the plot are not really connected, and then at the end they try and tell us that they are, in a way that just doesn't make any sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
So
we didn't start with an open ocean scene. We started with some stock footage, so that's different.
Yeah, because they were showing us a bunch of fallout from other shark attacks, or a bunch of preparations.
A bunch of preparations, and then the megalodon throws unicorn into the famous statue of Jesus.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. The big one in Rio de Janeiro, I believe, is where it is.
Mm-hmm.
The one they always show to let you know that that's where you are. Just like the Sydney Opera House or the pyramids.
And the Meg booty bumped a lot of things in this movie. I thought that was pretty funny. Like, he booty bumps a missile at one point. He booty bumps a ship out of the way. Lots of just huzzah, huzzah.
Yeah.
Like, dang. The CIA agent is like all right. I kind of feel like she was like a good character. She like plays like, you know, badass. Like at one point she dislocates her shoulder and then she like relocates it with like just slamming herself into a wall and shit.
Yeah. See that? I don't know. I just feel like I've seen that in other movies, so it's just was I'm just ripping off better stuff. Just kind of cliched.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I think the best part of the movie is the old man with the gun and the flask, the old Russian who, quote unquote, created the red mercury.
Yeah.
And like his one scene is probably like the best part of the movie, and then they kill him. So
he's in a lot of things. You've seen him in stuff. He's often plays that kind of a character, some kind of foreign scientist kind of guy. But this movie, these movies are just cartoons, but not in a good way. Just, you know, the robot throws the shark into outer space and hits the satellite that it's aiming for. That's cartoon shit there. It's
yeah, but the wind up of him throwing the shark in space was hilarious. Like him just like grabbing the shark by the ass and just whoosh 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 whoosh. Pretty hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what if you for some dumb reason you want to watch this movie? It's in all the usual places, Tubi and whatnot. So yeah, you can find it on Peacock or Tubi or probably several places. And next week, I regret to inform you, is another assignment. Yeah, it's gonna be 3-headed shark attack next week.
Oh shit.
Oh, and I found out why there's no 4-headed shark attack. Because apparently, and I haven't watched it yet, but apparently 5-headed shark attack includes both a 4-headed and a 5-headed shark. So it's a twofer.
Oh,
or
God. Throw me in the traffic.
I guess it's a 9fer, depending on how you're counting. But after that, there's some good stuff coming up, though. So hold on, folks. We're going to get to some better stuff very soon. Folks, if you enjoy the show, please like and subscribe. Oh, and I should have mentioned this at the top, but I'll mention it now. I did another episode of our friends' podcast, Welcome to the End of the World. And it was also a shark movie.
Nice.
Well, no, it was not. The movie my buddy Matt and I talked about was Post-Apocalyptic Commando Shark.
Whoa.
Which is also on all of the free things. And it is, oof. It's not good, but hopefully you will enjoy us talking about how not good it is. So go and check out our buddy's podcast, Welcome to the End of the World. They're on YouTube, but I think they're now finally on Spotify as well, and possibly on the other things. They might be on Apple now, by now. I'm not sure. So there you go, folks. That's going to do it for this week. Please rate and review and like and subscribe and check out our Patreon. Until next time, I have been Precious D.
And I have been Honeybee.
Remember to keep calm and take shelter in basements.
And please, don't misuse science.
We won't see you, but you will hear us next time on Monster Movie Fun Time Go. You've been listening to Monster Movie Fun Time Go. If you enjoyed the show, please consider rating and reviewing us on your podcasting platform of choice. You can leave us a message and find links to all our things at mmftg.com.